Hi everyone, it's Mikael. Today we're gonna see together how to combine neck wrap and arm roll or sleeve together from really nice combination. And we see on the end the full sleeve. In the first place, I want to share with you this idea of combining tricks together to actually get out of this uh, tricks box when we just have a name and you can just do that as only one piece. It's easy to see that as the steel, but in fact an arm roll on the outside part of the arms and going back there. So you see there's many connector points, and the idea for me here is just like to break down to smaller pieces, because like this it's either easier to combine everything and actually start to be original in the way you're making things together. This is also where you can find new personality. It's good to have a great repertoire of tricks, but it's also good to have your own way to go with them step by step. For the combo of today, we're going to simply use what we already learned in the previous video, so neck wrap and some steel or arm rolls. But this concept I'm showing you now, you can later on try to apply it to other concepts that you will learn. So let's begin with the first part of this tutorial. So here I'm going to show you a trick that you don't know yet, but it's pretty simple. It's an arm roll on the this part of your arm. You see my palm is facing the sky. It's important to not be on that face of the arm, but on this one. I'm grabbing the staff here like if I want to do a neck wrap. But instead of placing it on my neck, I'm going to come and simply place it at that level of my arm. It can be a bit later, but it's good to have it at the shoulder level and just at that point, as you can see. And I just let it roll. Here it's pretty easy, you can make a few turns of them. It's pretty simple because there is no circular motion, but as we are doing this circular motion with the staff in this swing, the staff will also have circular motion, and the way we are grabbing it, we're exactly in the position how we start the steel in the previous video. So here, just to get comfortable with it, you can do from one way to another, run it back, send it there. And you see it's a pretty simple motion to get, but I like it. It's quite elegant, and also it's preparing you for part we need for the full steel at the end of this video. Important point, and this is like for really often in staff, try to have a stretched arm, not bent. The concept is easy. If you want something to roll straight, it's better to have a straight roll, right? And so if you have like this kind of angle, the staff will stop here and it's a bit harder. And also aesthetically, and it's easier just to say to yourself, stretch your arm. You see? Then later on, if you have more control, maybe you're going to want different aesthetic in the way you move, which is fine. I'm not here to block any kind of originality, but just in terms of control, it's way easier to start by stretching your arm. And you feel comfortable with this motion, we can add a little piece to it. So now we will go for this arm roll or half step and catch the staff up and going to the steel that we learned in the previous video, but we're gonna block it here. So the piece is now with this, take it back. And you see here, I can either grab the staff and just go slowly back in this one. But when you will be comfortable, you can as well let the staff make a turn around the wrist to go directly in the position back to roll my arm like we are doing normally by twisting the wrist in that direction. So the staff is actually making a turn around and go on the outside part of the arm later. Now that you're comfortable with this, either in the fluid or you can stop it, it doesn't matter. The next part of the combo will be to come and grab the staff here as a neck grab. So I'll do it again. I have still block, neck grab, then we can come back to a still in the other direction. So if I do the full combination, and take it back. And by doing so, we can be actually in a loop. And quite a nice one. So try to repeat that combination till every piece can be stopped and controlled and put together in a fluid way. And when you start to feel comfortable, challenge yourself and try to do exactly the same, but in the other way. Like you can see, I'm also struggling, because it's not my favorite sense. But like this, you are challenging your brain and your body, but also you are incorporating every pieces you learn way deeper, because you are not just stuck in this notion of a trick, but you can see there's just different pathways that you can play with, and step by step let your originality talk for yourself. Before going to the next step, I will just show you some example on how you can add even more step in the combination we did by adding, for example, some toss or some movement in there, or even try to find a different entry into a trick we are already doing. This is like a step of exploration that I'm doing myself when sometimes I want to go a bit further or try to make a combo feel a bit nicer to me. So I'm going to just show it to you without too much explanation, and I'll let you try to do the breakdown by yourself. It's quite easy steps. Now we are ready for the second part of the video around the full steal, which is, like you will get by yourself really soon, just also a combination of different elements and arm rows together, and just name as a package as the full steal. To go directly into the subject, the first step gonna be the same step we did before, which was to place the staff here to go into the arm roll and catch it. But here I want you to keep your hands facing, like with the palm facing it, you see? So I have it, now I let it come back to me. So I'm basically doing a way and back in the same way. And for the moon, there is not so much circular motion, so it's quite easy. I'm just simply getting comfortable to have the staff coming in my direction, which I'm really aware at the beginning can be really scary. Don't get me wrong, I was also afraid of the staff coming towards me, and the first day you will do a steal with a fire staff. If you do that one day, it's really, really scary, but also really a fantastic feeling when you hear and see the flame coming towards you, burning on your body. But it's really worth it also to learn it with control. So here for both arms, and this is really important, the way up and the way down. And here, if it's too fast, check how your arm is. So you want the arm to be above 90, otherwise there will be no roll, but you don't want it neither too strong slope. And obviously you're gonna do that on both arms. Now that you have a bit more control over the slide, we're gonna include a bit more of this circular motion than you will have when you will read the full step. And for doing so, what I want you to do, you're gonna start this motion which is inside still in the opposite way. You see, like normally when we start a step, we have the center point here, and I want you to twist your wrist till you can see also the staff at the center point here, ready to roll on your arm. But my chest will also be facing that direction. I'm opening my chest here in order that when the staff is here, I can balancing out a little bit and then opening to the other side. It's really important now that the chest will face that direction to avoid something too abrupt or the staff going around your shoulder level. You want it to go to your chest, so you give it your chest. So you see, I'm turning till I can have my palm facing to me with the staff ready to roll. I'll let it roll, open my chest, and go back to the other side. You see, it's like 1, 2, 3. And this motion, learn it already because it's going to be important for many contact staff moves, where you need to turn your chest from one side. And one of the easiest ways to treat your body and mind, to remember it, look at your staff. You want to face your staff. And if you do so, when I'm here, because the staff is now parallel to me in front of me, I keep following it, but I know also which direction I want to give him. I want him to go to my left side. So I'm turning to my left with already my arm ready here, so it's going to turn with it. Now, as you maybe have noticed, you can have the staff balancing here on your chest and going back here, but to be completely honest, most of the time it's more an illusion, at least for me. It's because when I'm arriving here, I don't have time to backbend and I don't want to backbend so much for my back, so I'm basically, here the staff is transferring the center here, but it's actually on two of my arms, not on my chest. But still, it can look like if I'm going on my chest, but it's not. Both are correct. I think you should practice both, but just so you know that it's not bad if you are just going from one arm to another, but it's also good if you can be able to balance it on your chest. Now that you feel that you have enough control to go to the next step, now it will be the time for the transition between like the inner still and the outside wall to make the full connection of it. And we're gonna start by going from the still here, and when we are here and we catch it, simply taking the time to catch it, turn and let it go, and doing the same thing. We catch it, stop, then going to the other. This is like the slow step, but it will allow us to gain control. And step by step, if we want to make it full contact, one step and challenge that I can give you, it's instead of grabbing the staff when it's going here, is to simply keep your palm open, that the staff will turn on it and open again, so the staff can roll. So this is a tiny bit more tricky, and I will show you a video from above. But you can do the same motion to make the staff turn around your wrist or on your palm without grabbing it. That's required to go slow, and also to, if you have your palm really parallel to the ground, you can let the staff a small surface where it's going to be able to do this rotation that you need to do in the air before going back down. It might take some time before you get something fluid and or in control, but just remind yourself that, like for example, in martial arts or dance, they consider that you should repeat a movement 10,000 times before it's really printed in the body. So it might take a while before it looks fluid and beautiful, but you will get there. And if at some point you notice there is a part where you're losing control, you know now how to do it. You just simply focus on that part and repeat the movement till you fully understand it and your body feel comfortable with it. And so like this, you don't need someone to give you so much correction because you can already notice what's happening and how to apply correction on it by yourself. For the transition also, it will take time, but everything you are learning now is going to be really, really beneficial for a lot of really cool movements that I will teach you in the future. So I wish you good training. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I welcome any kind of feedback. If you are also blocked on something, please let me know, send me a video of what's blocking for you, and because it can also improve my teaching. If you want to get further, more content like this, you can check my Patreon. There's a link in the description below. And I wish you a really, really good training.